Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Y'all know what time it is, man. Atlanta Falcon fanatics, man. We at it again. Me, my girl Joy, my homeboy Jeff, and my boy Big Country will be in 1 second. So y'all sit back. We're gonna have fun tonight. We have a dope show for y'all. Chuck Smith is gonna join us in 1 second. So y'all just get ready because we're gonna take y'all for a ride. We all know the Atlanta Falcons pass rush is probably one of the main focal points of this season coming up. And early on in the preseason, they look pretty good, even though the score doesn't suggest that. We've seen some positivity from the second and third unit because the starters really haven't played yet. So we gonna get ready and we gonna rock for 20 minutes. Have a good time, man. Y'all know how we do it. But
Hold up.
we gonna welcome in Chuck Smith, former Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Falcons legend,
What's
who I
going
think
on?
should be in the Ring of Honor. But
I
we'll talk about
appreciate
that
that.
another time. Chuck, what's up, man?
Man, nothing much. Just in the house. Just got done eating a little dinner with the wife. Was up there watching a little WSB news. Checking out a little what's going on here in the ATL.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. Speaking of what's going on in the ATL, man, first two games, and we're gonna get into the pass rush
Yeah.
right quick. Um,
Okay.
Chuck Smith training system. Tell us about that a little bit
Mm,
before we move on. For those that don't know, who's tuning in for the first
mm.
time, tell us
Oh
what
yeah.
Chuck Smith training system is all about.
Well, when I retired in 2001, I had already started a business in probably about 1998, 99, training guys from the Falcons, Lester Archambault, Travis Hall, all those guys. I taught them really the cross chop, taught them pass rush moves. So that morphed into 2001 when I retired after leaving Atlanta and playing in Carolina for a short time. I had already had the formulation of a pass rush training company teaching pass rushers at the NFL, the highest level, how to improve their pass rush production, meaning how to improve getting sacks and development of anything to do with front seven, defensive line, and linebackers. So I had a chance to work with everybody from Albert Haynesworth to Von Miller to Ray Lewis to all the way down the line, man. So it's just about front seven development, and part of the evolution now of middle linebackers is that last year middle linebackers blitzed, I think, almost 50% of the time on third downs. So now in the front seven encompassing. So what I started in 2001 is teaching guys in all those positions how to get to the quarterback and the techniques that it takes. To break it down a little bit, Smitty. I could water it down, but I don't. It's really the way to hardly to water down what I teach. I try a lot of time on the radio, but you know how we talk. It's a real long conversation, but in a short way of saying it, maybe hopefully people that are tuning in understand.
Right. And I saw you working with Grady Jarrett a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah.
tell
Oh yeah.
me, tell me what you expect from him this season and how he might finally get up into that upper echelon, the top three of defensive tackles in the league this year. Because I think Aaron Donald, who you worked with as well,
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that's generational. But tell me what you expect from Grady Jarrett this year after working with you.
Yeah.
I mean, working with him.
I think. Yeah, I expect Grady to, get another Pro Bowl under his belt. But now I'm expecting him to start rising in that All Pro category. The All Pro category it's a little bit different how it's voted on when it comes from your peers. They vote who is the best, and so I think Grady Jarrett's primed to. I want to see him jump up in the All Pro category. I don't care about the media, Smitty. I can care less what Hot Topics
Right,
got. Grady
right,
Jarrett's a top five defensive tackle right now.
Yeah.
Yep,
right.
I agree.
And I mean, that's just how it goes. The only thing that separates Grady, he's not on a team that wears yellow and black. He's not a guy who's in one of the traditional, you know what I'm saying, teams
Three,
that
four.
get a lot of
Right.
the they get a benefit of the doubt, what I'm saying. So it's always been that
I
way.
got you.
Atlanta is part of it. Unless Atlanta's sky high and winning, none of the players are ever going to get evaluated the way they should because of the futility of the history. We ain't got no championships. You'll get benefit of
Yeah.
this in the NFL. Teams who've won championships get the benefit of the doubt. Look at the Cowboys. Look,
Yeah.
the Cowboys ain't even the Cowboys ain't
Playoff in
even living
25
on
years.
our block.
Right.
They ain't on our
Right.
block. Would have been a 2 Super Bowls since they've been to none in those 25 years. But the point being, when the team wins, everybody looks better. But Grady's that dude, man. He's on his way.
And I seen Chuck whenever I seen the clip on Twitter where he was shooting with hands to Grady and he hit you with that arm bar. You were looking kind of surprised for a minute there, Chuck.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the menu. Now that wasn't. We throwing hands.
Yeah, I see you shooting to
him. But that was really about the fourth series, right? So when we do that, that's really called something we call blind hands. Where at first you start with your eyes closed. You're trying to feel it because what you don't see in the dark, it helps you when you open your eyes up. With pressure points, and that's what me and Grady working on. And so, Grady got, now remember, Grady is coming. Now, this in the morning workout. This is Grady Jarrett getting off on a Friday. That was Grady Jarrett at 3:00 on a Friday afternoon. Man, he had already put in the work. I think they had already had mini camp. Yeah, man.
Impromptu 2 a day.
For real.
Yeah.
And so he came, but the point being, right, it's not like obviously, but what happens is in that particular drill, as I move forward to what we were saying with Grady coming in, that's the third series. We're doing that for 20 seconds. Imagine moving your hands, having to react for 20 seconds. You are tired. So what I do is in between that, Grady will get, get about 15 seconds. But Grady's the kind of cat, he coming to get the work in, to get it done. So Grady will up-tempo his speed for conditioning. So when we got there, Grady had already hit me. I bet you Grady had already used his hands over 40 or 50 strikes. So he was like, I'm done. Chop, 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 chop. It's over. It's it.
That's a whole nother kind of monster right
now. Me down and said, we ain't getting no more reps.
Crazy.
I done put the work in. The big truck, big boy rims drove off from my gym. He had put in the work, man. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, that's what I'm talking about. You got to.
Hey, I seen you also put on Twitter, Chuck, whenever you put your because I know that you sponsored by Ready. Stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. I seen you retweeted me the other day because you look like you still got no hands over there, Chuck. I see you over there now.
Yeah, man. I've been a blessing, man. Aaron Donald and Giannis Antetokounmpo, if I say that right, they, started a water company. Did I say that wrong? Y'all know what I mean.
You right.
But yeah. So really, when it was first starting, AD had been involved with it, and then I was like, we were just talking, like, hey, Aaron, how's this going? What's going on with this? Where you training my, kids? Just really general stuff. Then he was like, I was like, yo, man, I seen you been, I like your water. I had a chance to try it because he had sent me some. And I said, hey, man, I'm here to, I'll help you, any way I can. I mean, I'm not like no dude with 1 million followers or nothing. But I said that the trend that I'm involved in pass rush is a small nucleus of people that we can reach. So, he was like, hey, man, you want to, be a part of it in the whole nine as far as, help pushing it out there. So I started. So really, man, I was just doing the commercials, kind of, acting silly, me and Dez a little bit, my assistant. So then, morphed into my clients was in the lab, they in North Atlanta, man, on the north side. They come to the lab. They like, yo, man, let me try that Ready, that AD trying. So them boys would try it. They would like it. Then they was like, yo, I'm trying to get in the commercial. So how it works, with the brotherhood when it comes to the NFL, these young boys, they ain't going to try to charge AD. They want AD to come up. So all these different cats, man, that have been helping one another, and they just show love, man. So, yeah, a lot more to come. So I just got a text today from my first group of college players. So I'm also getting guys the NILs. I'm going to help you guys get them NILs. And guess what? They're going to represent Chuck Smith Training Systems, and they're going to do Ready. So it's college players and NFL players all around the country today got huge boxes of Ready water, courtesy of Chuck Smith Training Systems and my family at Ready.
Man. That's how you do it. Hey, it's all in one big circle, Chuck. All one
big
circle, man. That's beautiful, brother. I seen you swatting them flies and you getting that monkey off the back with that spin move, though. I don't know if you seen it. I was like, oh, hey, I see.
Hey, man. Hey, I used to hit that spin back in the 90s. I used to head fake bull, stutter cross chop. And just like you said, Smitty, look, man, I'm here to live my truth, right?
Right.
I hear what you're saying. So look, when we talking about all the stuff I did for the Falcons, it speaks for itself. The organization don't have to recognize. You rate where people who watch me and seen what I did in the 90s. It is what it is. And the only people in front, the only people that I would say that are better than me, and they all Hall of Famers. Dolman, Reggie, Strahan. I can go down the books. So at the end of the day, man, I absolutely deserve to one day be in the Falcons Ring of Honor. Look at all the big plays I made, what I did. I led the whole. I led the 90s, man. It was me and Tuggle. So at the end of the day, man, my
Pro Bowl
where I'll
97.
let the fans speak for it. I mean, man, look, I was a 5-time Pro Bowl alternate, but everybody who was in front of me is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
It is what it is, man. So there's certain things. Some people get to go. Some people go to the Cowboys, Smitty. If I go to the Cowboys or the Niners, I'm probably over 100 sacks. And I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
So if I don't play with
I give you another example.
Smitty.
Could have gone the Dion route.
I give you another example. John Abraham. I talked to him a couple of months ago, and I asked him, was he Hall of Fame worthy? He gave a perfect example of, his numbers are there, but he wasn't the guy that they like off the field. So the media is going to drive that to the point that that might keep him out the Hall.
Well, you already know that with Terrell Owens and why it took him so long to get in.
Yeah. You know, and I really don't care, honestly, to get in. And, at the end of the day, there's nobody in that Hall of Fame that did more than me in this city. I done did radio. I'm an Emmy Award winner. I didn't got to check on radio. I'm the only person in Atlanta history to be on every station that had a real contract. I started at Hot 107.9. The day Ryan Cameron opened up the mic at Hot 107.9, I was on there. The day Frank Ski was there.
Yeah.
From parades, man.
I remember that.
It is what it is. To the shows, there's nobody. I'll say it. From on the field to representing the ATL, there's not one Falcon player. And you show me another sport outside of Unique and them. I'm not talking about success. I'm talking about putting it down for your city. So if there's a Ring of Honor in Atlanta, I put it down for Decatur. I've been doing camps around the country. I mean, in the city. I host stuff. I go down there with my man Keith with I Am a Father First. I've been doing this since 91. So I'll let the people speak for itself because I ain't done yet. But so I don't get caught up on the Ring of Honor because there's cats in the Hall of Fame and NFL Hall of Fame. They're Hall of Famers, but they scrubs in real life. A yellow jacket don't give you a right to be an asshole.
Dang, so you just firing shots.
Listen, the Ring of Honor, the Falcons don't mean you necessarily what embodies what Atlanta Falcon in this community means. A good player, man, I put it down. A lot of cats, so it is what it is, man. I'm big on that now because there's too many people out there that they treat people like they Hall of Famers. Or they treat people like they Ring of Honor people. Man, please, man, you look at them players I made. Man, listen, the bottom line is it speaks for itself. And the one thing I say about the one thing that I was a little different with John M. Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to the media. I'm gonna get on people. I'm going to challenge people in the media. I'm gonna help June Jones get fired because I would have Taylor Smith say, man, we need a defensive-minded head coach. He's not good enough. Oh, I did that.
Hey,
so
right
it is
quick.
what it is, man. So for the Falcons, for the Atlanta Falcons, again, I'm not even talking about football. Man. I'm talking about being a host, doing stuff at the Brown and Brothers, being in Cascade, man, in the spots, doing the stuff that people don't go to. So
I remember that. I remember that.
I'm putting on for the city way before Jesus.
So really, man, I've changed a little my approach. Y'all heard me talking. You think look, man, I gotta live my truth. Y'all really, truly, people just really, truly y'all can get to know me how you know who I am. But man, it is what it is, man. I do a lot of different things. I'm more than just a pass rush coach, but I do have different opinions, and I can just tell you guys this, Smitty, and I tell every Falcon fan this. I will make sure until the day that the sun sets on me when I can't talk no more, I will make sure you always get the facts, the truth about Falcon football from now on. I don't care if you at the radio stations. I don't care if you do the little cute shows with the Dirty Bird reports and all that. I am a dirty bird. And let me put this out there. Y'all need to repost this. So now all of a sudden, the Falcons are coming back and embracing the dirty bird, but they ain't dealing with no dirty birds.
None.
How you gonna bring the dirty bird back?
Hey. Jamal Anderson been talking about that for 5 to 10 years.
And they hate him for talking about it.
But the facts remain. You're right. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. I was just saying he voices his opinion just like what you're saying now. He was doing that on Twitter and they hate him for it.
Yeah. So Jamal Anderson, a guy who is as big as anybody that's ever, it is what it is. Yeah. His impact. You know, it's funny. I heard on the radio one day, I heard the Falcons, they was talking about the new Dirty Bird little area, whatever. And they were like, yeah, man. And I think, was it Mike Bell or Carl Dukes or somebody said,
Mike Bell and Carl Dukes,
Yeah, they was like, yeah, Jamal set that thing on fire. The first thing the Falcons have already have in their somewhat of their message. Well, no. That was O.J. No, that wasn't. That was O.J. Santiago, too. Give him credit. That's what they're doing to try to have to negate them. So let me tell you what's so whack about the Falcons. You watch other sports franchises, big up their legends. Jamal Anderson is a legend that will never, ever fade for the Falcons. The Dirty Bird name is almost bigger than what their name is. You say Dirty Birds, no? That's Falcons.
That's the first person to come to mind. Yeah. Jamal Anderson, the first person to come to mind.
Jamal Anderson. So when Jamal Anderson has trouble 5-6 years ago, it's well documented. Instead of bigging him up, they kicked him to the curb. You've never seen Jamal there. When they brought Jamal Jamal was hurting himself. He's not hurting the Falcons. They should big him up. You one of our own, Jamal. You were one of the best in the league. You brought a different kind of culture. So they bring the Dirty Bird back last year because no fans was paying no attention. Let's be real. Y'all the real fans. So y'all lived it with me, so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We old enough. Oh, yeah, we know.
So you're going to put on a video. Do you remember that when they brought Dirty Bird back, they put a video up. I want to say it was Roddy doing it.
It was the newer players, like 2003 and on. Yeah, right.
Again, Arthur Blank, when he bought the team, there was a separation of power. You're Taylor Smith, and we're going to move on because we're going to go back to back and we're winners, right? Guess what? In 2-3 years, he leveled the playing field. So all the years the Smith family had all that bad karma and all the things that we talked about, guess what? The Falcons in 1 year, in 28-3, in these last Dan Quinn regime, they basically evened up with us and passed us. No one even talks about the past like that. But the mistake Arthur Blank made, that you guys are no good, you're losers, and we're better. We're going to do everything different. But guess what, y'all? We're all lumped together now. So I wish the Atlanta Falcons would absolutely, Rich McKay and all them, listen, man, they didn't even recognize, what was it, 25 years Super Bowl last year? 20 years?
Right. 25 years.
25 years.
I'm talking to D-Led. So the point being, man, I'm going to let them know, because a lot of things, when it comes to the history, it's unfair. How was Morton Anderson not in the Ring of Honor? He played more for the Saints.
What? Wow.
Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
He had to go to New Orleans because Atlanta was showing him no love, man. So the bottom line is, man, the facts remain. I'm giving y'all the real. I want them to embrace Jamal Anderson. Dallas, the Cowboys, they embrace the Brady Great. They embrace people try to help their former players, man.
Yeah.
Jamal Anderson gets jammed up. The Falcons to this day, they castrated him. And then you've never seen, you're gonna bring out the dance he created, that's his nickname, and you ain't gonna give that man a chance to come. Listen, he wasn't on the back of a car that year, remember? So look, man, remember that when they brought the Legends of the Dome?
Yeah, I was there.
How is he not on there? Now
I was there, man. I was there.
There was one person missing. I was invited, Smitty. I couldn't make it. I was sick. So I actually was one. Most people like, Chuck, where you at? I was like, man, I couldn't make it, man. Believe me, it was the worst thing ever not to be able to be there. But the point being, man, Jamal Anderson, until the Falcons start, I'm telling you, there's no, you don't see anything special with Jesse Tuggle. He's one there's nothing they can do about. You don't see them doing things with Albert Shelley, a 5-time Pro Bowler. You don't see Terrence Mathis.
I did a piece on him.
Yeah, you need to do the research.
Talking about how Albert Shelley was a key piece. Oh yeah. Man, but right quick, man. I know you got to go, but I got some questions from my panel. 3 questions.
Yeah.
Each of them are going to ask you a question, like a rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay, hey Chuck, I'm Joy, and I've been a Falcon fan since 1984 and been a season ticket holder since the early 90s. So yeah, I'm committed to the Falcons. However, my question is, how can Dante Fowler bounce back in this defensive scheme?
I think Dante, number one, being healthy would be important. But it's really Dante, I say it all the time. He's just got to use the moves. He's got the moves. He just got to use them. I'm telling y'all, watch this cat. I've been following his whole career. I know a lot about Dante. I really think Dante's going to do good. He's back at a 3-4 position. I think the defense is going to be a little better than people think because they're going to send blitzes. I mean, we're going to give up some stuff, but I'd rather go at them, try to split their wig than letting them throw bombs on me. I'm trying to go get them. I think Dante's going to be fantastic, but watch out for Dante bringing out his side scissors with the swipe. I know Herbie been working that real strong. And he's obviously adding in some cross chop, but also trying to add a little more power for him off of his speed rush and not bull rushing all the time, before he sets up his speed.
Because Dante, whenever he comes with his angles, whenever Dante comes with it, he's one of the best at the game with his angles. He just got to learn how to use the moves with it, But I just want to ask you, Chuck. My name is Big Low Kuntry. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach.
Where you from, though? Where you from? Big country, Big Low. Where you from?
Man, I'm from down south Georgia, down near Savannah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I wanted to ask you, besides Grady Jarrett, which defensive lineman do you think is going to perform the best this year?
Ooh, man. Oh, man, that's a tough one. Oh, man. Oh. I'd probably say I'm hoping the young kid from Auburn. You know what I'm saying?
Marlon.
Yeah.
Marlon Davis.
Man, that's not good. Yeah.
Well, putting on.
I think Marlon. I think this would be a big year for him. I'm really have high expectations for him. I just watched him play at Auburn. I always see what you can do, not what you can't do. Dang, exactly. The dude can ball. But now, I mean, I've talked recently about losing generations of players, not generational players, but when a guy that you get in the second, third round don't work, it kills you. So he's got to be the one. Comiskey, where you at? That's what, third rounder? What about we got rid of the little fire hydrant? What's it, Deidre Sanat?
He gone. Mm-hmm.
I mean but understand what I'm saying. It's a generational loss. Because when you lose it, you draft a second round pick. That's 4 or 5 years you guaranteed you're expecting to have. So right now, for me, you're a second rounder or you're out of Auburn, gotta have it. And to me, he's the only one as far as everybody else needs to fill in. You're a draft pick. When you get drafted by a team that high, your expectations are different.
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
Hey, what up, Chuck? My name is Jazzy Jeff. Real talk. I'm from Chicago, and I was a Falcons fan in the early '90s, back with Dion, and when he left, I almost thought about switching team. But the original Dirty Birds, I love them so much. I love all you guys, man. Jamal Anderson, the original, and so I've been with them ever since, and I never left them. And so my question to you is, because I love defense, and we ain't known for having great defenses over the years. What is the key to having a consistent pass rush? Because everybody can be hot for 1 year, like Vick Beasley in 2016, NFL sack leader. Now look at him; he's struggling to even make a team. So what's the difference between something like that versus like you, who had a consistent career of pass rush?
I think I had highs and lows also. Now we have some sorry ass teams. we had some years where they weren't throwing much offense. And I'm gonna explain to you those, because that's a great question. So really, man, I had some of the I had some of the worst cornerbacks earlier in my career after Deion left. So you were right. When Deion left, we had like Tim McKay, Bruce Pickens. We had Darnell Walker. If they watching, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all wasn't that good back then. Y'all old men now, so you should be able to live with it. You did get in the league, so be happy about that.
So what happened is,
you know what I'm saying, Country? So the biggest thing to me, man, is having some ball control. Like, it's hard for the Falcons to rush because they be behind. Matt be throwing. People kind of run the clock out. So for me, it was always good. When I had good coverage and competent guys, I could roll. But the offense was always good because we like in like the good years, some of the good years I had or good rushes, the offense would always like, we'll be up. That was cool with the run and shoot. Sometimes, you know, we're gonna score 40, so we knew they was gonna score. You know, we knew he was gonna be rushing. But I think number one is the coverage. The best teams that I was on in Atlanta, we had 2 All-Pros in the secondary. Ray Buchanan was first-team All-Pro. Eugene Robbins was first-team All-Pro. Then we had William White and Ronnie Bradford. We had 4 guys that was vets and that could do it. Then we had, you know, Jesse, Henry Crockett, and Cornelius Bennett. But yeah, I am. But everybody I just talked to, or they're like veterans too. But it helps to have them guys, you know, and to have a good rush. Because I've had some years where I only had 5 sacks, but I rushed better than I did when I got 10.
Hey, you left out one. Yeah, you left out one. Lester Archambault. Mm-hmm. That was my boy.
Yeah, Lester. Yeah. So I'll just say one thing. I think I answered your question, but there's one thing that I always had. I get into a little bit now, Smitty. It's hard for me to compare Falcon teams because we were so complete for 1 year. There's outside of Grady, and maybe Dion. There's nobody on their defense now that could have started on my defense.
That's true.
Well, you name one. I mean,
but yeah. I have a question that it's been bugging me for a long time. Yourself, John Abraham, 2 of the best pass rushers in both of y'all areas. Why haven't they reached out to y'all to help train their defensive ends and their outside linebackers? I just want to know.
Well, I think, Smitty, I think that sounds easy, but, you know, being a coach is like a culture within itself. They all know each other. They've been doing it since 18. You know, they're committed to spending their lives on the field and in the room. Like the rooms y'all in right now, them cats being all day, every second. So when y'all doing these y'all hits, they be in here breaking down film. So I just think it's just a commitment that coaches like that have. That for me personally, as I've kind of been allotted to the last few years, and I finally really kind of just say it public, I could care less about being the coach. So anything that I've ever seen now, you know, there's certain things maybe I couldn't talk to y'all about because I was trying to always thinking about getting in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of sacrifices and stuff you got to do to get in. And some of the things that pro coaches, it's a valiant job. It is a honorable job. College pro coaching, high school coach country, you know. But the culture, lifestyle, man, I want to raise my kids, man.
Yeah,
I want to be able to see my kids. I want to be able to go to games. I want to. If I wouldn't be talking to y'all at this moment right now about a coach.
Exactly.
So I'm good. I know Abe ain't trying to. I don't think Abe. I'm not in his business. I don't know if he's trying to coach, but man, I like kicking it. I like being able to talk, hanging out, doing radio, TV. I like being on the beach. You know, you know, I like it. You know, every once in a while I might be 50 and get up and be 50 and nifty on my turntables. You know, being an old school Athens cat. You know, if you're from Atlanta, you know about King DJ Edward J. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm from the back of the old Raheem the Dream, man. I'm from them days. So I'm a real dude, a regular dude, man, that just has a gift. And but coaching ain't but I will tell you this. I'm gonna be doing a lot of hella reporting on coaching around these parts because I am now taking my role as the aforementioned expert on Falcons. And if they don't like it, they might not want to turn me on because I'm always be honest and tell the truth because there needs to be somebody in this market. Because I watch everybody. You know, these cats, outside of what y'all talk about, these cats know they be faking, man. They be on these radios and TV stations. We got to toughen our market up. We got to toughen the market up. So when they doing bad, it's okay for us to say it. When they doing good, we love them nonetheless. But I'm going to be the one, man, that I'm going to make sure the information I give is credible, whether it's good, mostly good. And you know, y'all don't really ever hear me criticize, Cass, but I'm going to give I always like to give you information you can use, and then how we fix it. So that's where I'm at with it.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, because it's like it's residual. If you, you know, just like I do, if you hold people accountable, whether on the field or in an organization, it's like if I hold you accountable, you will perform better, whether you want to or not. You will perform better. So it's like you said, if we toughen up our fan base and have them say, "Hey, this isn't good," we need to acknowledge that it's not good. Like things will change. I had one more question for you though, Chuck.
Yeah.
As a pass rusher, would you rather be a pass rusher in just a base defense or a defense that blitzes a lot? Because me, with my ego, I didn't like having blitzes.
That's a good question. Really good question. I've never been asked that question. That's a hell of a question. I like, me personally, when I came to the Falcons, they drafted me as a 3-4 backer. I love playing 3-4 backer. One time, there was a time where me and Jesse Tuggle was lined up as I was the edge and Jesse was in the middle with Glanville. So then,
Flat way defense.
Jared.
Yep.
There was an opportunity. It was Darian Connor, Jesse, Robert Brazil, I think. I forgot, but there was an opportunity at one point. If we would have switched defenses, I would have been a 3-4 backer. Me and Jesse would have been linebackers. So me, I think
John Rady was on that team too, right? One John Rady still playing.
Got cut. My first year, he got cut. It was we had like Scott Case, but so you have to get Jesse on this show with y'all one time so I can talk about when I used to put that thing on him when linebacker trick. Hey, true story. I was a rookie. Jesse, you know, he do thud. You know, he an OG. He a legend. I'm a young cat. So he done jogged into the hole. I done fouled on the foul. Listen, y'all, I promise you the whole season after that, Jesse destroyed me every drill, man. That dude's hard. Jesse hard. But I like the blitzing, though.
Yeah, one more question, then we're going to wrap it up because I know he got to go. He's busy.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So, Chuck, when I watch a lot of pass rushers that struggle, it's because they only got like one move, like one fastball that they use. And when it doesn't work, they ain't got no other move. So when you came into the league, did you have to like develop additional pass rush moves, or did you already have that mentality in you where you like, man, I gotta get more moves?
I was always super aggressive. I was always willing to knock you out to knock myself. I'm willing to knock myself out to knock you out. That's honestly the mindset of the guys playing my era. So, but when I came league, it was a transition. It took me really 3 years, but I was on special teams. I was still a rusher, but in the league I came into was a little different. I ain't trying to hate on the New Jacks. There were some grown-ass men when I was playing. They was already 10-year veterans. So, you know, I'm coming in. They weren't like young boys today. These cats was vets. But I think I had to learn. Yeah, I learned. But I came in as a rusher. So I had a great coach in college at Tennessee, Rex Norris. But no question, that's how I learned about the development. Everybody's not going to hit it their first year. And sometimes not no fault of their own might be how the coach plays them. Might be a coach be on the cutting block. I mean, hey, good luck developing with Dan Quinn over the last 3 years. I'm just saying, so everything was changing defenses. And so every team has a scenario that we're kind of speaking on with Atlanta. It makes it hard to develop, you know. And then I got lucky. I had the same coach in Atlanta for 8 years, Bill Kolar, who's at Denver. Hell, I think Dan had 5 D-line coaches. I know he had at least 5 D-line coaches. I mean, so the point being, so for me to become a good pass rusher, I'll just say Vick and Tack, and I'll just use them. They didn't have the best all-around chance to be successful. It's easy to look at the little stuff on the field, but look at the turnover. Look at the philosophy. So, again, I told y'all, 2 years ago they couldn't play. Some of y'all got mad at me, but that's a whole other story. I ain't going to get into that.
Man.
But they can't.
Hey,
I remember that.
I ain't getting into that.
That's one of my most viewed videos on my channel.
Man.
But
I appreciate y'all checking in, man, with a brother.
Hey, man, I want to thank you for coming on, man, talking to us for a minute. It's always good to talk to you, man. You always check on me to make sure I'm okay, and I appreciate that.
Oh my God.
But I know you got to go, man. Give everybody your handle to where they can find you.
You can find me at Chuck Smith, chucksmithtraining.com, or you can go to Chuck Smith. Here's what you do. Go to Instagram. It's the first time I did this. Instagram and Twitter, and just put in hashtag Dr. Rush. You'll see everything I done did for the last 5 years. That makes it easier, right?
There it is. But again, man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And you know I'll catch up with you soon, man.
All right. Much love, y'all. Peace.
All right. Y'all
thanks, man.
Okay, y'all. All right, man. You're welcome.
Bye. Uh-oh.
Atlanta Falcons legend Chuck Smith stopped in and talked with us for a minute.
That was
Chuck,
great.
Man. Chuck, good people, man. Good
people. Chuck, man, he always comes through, man. I thank him always, man, for supporting me, man. Because a lot of players, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, a lot of players, they'll look at my my interview thing and they won't even answer. They'll just look at it and let it sit. But everybody in the comment box, man, y'all got a question, go and drop them. We're gonna talk questions for about 10 minutes and we're gonna roll. If y'all got a question,
smash
throw
the
it
like
out
button,
there.
Guys. Smash the like button.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all press that like button, man. Because I'm gonna share this again. Say that again, Jeff.
And hit subscribe to your boy Smitty Sports Machine.
Hey,
yes,
and
subscribe to all our channels, man.
And enjoy my world.
We don't think. Do I got a banner up here? Nope.
Nah. Let me see.
No banner.
I don't see it.
All of it's gambling.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I love when old Chuck come on. He just started talking about ball, man. That gets me going, boy. Yeah. I start smiling like a possum with a sweet potato, boy. I like.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When I first interviewed him, I was nervous as hell because that's somebody I looked up to as a kid. When I started watching the Falcons, it was like '89 when Deion got drafted, and when he got drafted, like 3 years later, I was like, "Who is Chuck Smith?" And then I did a little background, even back then in middle school. I'm like, "Oh, he's from Athens. I know people from Athens. I got family there." But he's always a stand-up guy, man. He's trained some of the best pass rushers in the NFL today. I'm talking about Von Miller, Aaron Donald. He was working with Grady Jarrett. Even some of the young pass rushers that was in this draft, they were working with him. Man, he's been around for a while. But Archangel, Terrence Mathis, he's very down to earth. Yeah. Terrence Mathis, I know him as well, and I'll have him again on the show again very soon. So y'all drop those questions, like I said, and we're gonna answer a couple, and then we're gonna roll. But anything y'all want to talk about before we get into the questions?
I do want to talk about something.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask my homeboy Jazzy Jeff if he got banned off of Twitter from getting naked after the
recently.
Game
You gone, Jeff?
No.
He just fucking around.
I just playing.
He drinking that water again.
Now, Frank Darby, he got a couple targets. And you see the jersey that he got on right now. So it's one of those cases. I know that he probably got naked. You know, after he got those targets, I said, "Yo, Jeff."
Hey man, it's like I don't know what people see in Blake. I don't know what people see in Tajay Sharp. But it's clear to me watching the games that when Darby catches the football, he actually does something with it. He actually catches the football, number one. Number two, he was averaging 14 yards a catch. He got a first down every single time they threw him the damn ball. Well, and what's their names was dropping passes in the end zone for touchdowns. Like
man, 2 back-to-back plays.
I mean, right in their hands. Come on now.
Plays.
You telling me Darby was going to catch that? Come on now. And so like I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Like this is my first time where Arthur Smith left me. It's like scratching my head. Like what is Tajay Sharp doing to be ahead? Just because he came from Tennessee? Just because they have some familiarity? Like I don't get it. I don't. I thought football is about merit. And when I watched the film, like what has in whether it's practice or preseason is supposed to be more important than practice. What in preseason has Tajay Sharp or Blake done? I just want to know.
I think that's more of a Arthur Smith type thing. But
he knows Arthur Smith's system.
Right. Yeah, and that's the only reason. Because you can't justify anything in the preseason. And so I think Darby gonna be on the practice squad, and he like I said, he gonna have to wait till next year to get his chance.
If he here, because if somebody sign him off the practice squad, because
a lot of people are gonna want him
doing it. I can see a couple of teams doing it.
You saw Javion Hawkins with that weak ass run, and he gets cut the next day, and he now signed with a new team already. So don't tell me teams ain't looking at Frank Darby saying we can turn him into something. They are.
And I bet you Kyle Shanahan looking. He need receivers.
And so and Kyle Shanahan already has Frank Darby's old teammate, Brandon Ayuk, on the team.
Right.
So,
exactly.
man, if he gets back with his old teammate and Shanahan, y'all gonna see what he gonna do with Darby, and I'm gonna be real pissed off. And the Falcons are gonna deserve everything they get for that, because Tajay Sharp, to me, how many teams has Tajay Sharp been on now? Was his third, fourth team?
Third or fourth.
This is one of the things I can't stand that Falcons do, and I'm about to get on my soapbox because you just brought me there, country, and I got to do it. we for some reason we'll see a guy be on 3, 4, 5, 6 teams, and we think, we're gonna turn him into some fucking gold. No, he been on different teams for a reason. Right. Like Josh Rosen. I saw people talking about, oh man, we coach him up and he learns from Matt Ryan. He could be the replacement when Ryan leaves. Hell no. I don't care that he's only 24. He's been on 5 different teams for a reason. He had his chances. The Miami Dolphins gave him the keys to the city after he left the Cardinals, and he couldn't beat out who he couldn't beat out? Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think it was.
Yep.
So he's one of those guys, man, and so that's what pissed me off about Falcon fan at the time, man. It's like no matter who we get, we think we can just like why can't we just be okay with having backups on the team? Like, we need backups are valuable. They serve their purpose, but every guy is not going to be a star. Every guy is not going to be Julio, Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett, etc. Why can't we ever be okay with just getting a backup and being okay with that?
Backups looking terrible out there. Shit. Yeah. Sunday is our third preseason game, right? Or is it the second one? It's the third one. It's the third and final one, right?
Right.
So Sunday, get ready to tell us what the move is, because baby, no, them backups we got.
And who else? Laquan Treadwell. That's another guy. People thought, oh, he a former first rounder. We gonna do something? No, he got cut from multiple teams for a reason. Why can't we just call a spade? Like, these dudes are journeymen.
But you got to think too, man. You got to think too. And I'm thinking just like they are. They trying to spend as less money as they can for a player. I know it, don't make sense right now.
I'm not talking about with the Falcons. The Falcons is completely understandable what they're doing. I understand from the Falcons. I'm talking about from the Falcons fans' perspective. They think we turn guys into superstars, and they just can't accept the reality that no, we just need to sign somebody.
The only reason why I knew, and I said it, and anybody who's been watching me, the only reason why I knew they were going to go after Josh Rosen, 1, he's cheap. 2, he's been in the league for a while. And 3, Felipe Franks is not ready. If Felipe Franks has played a little bit better, and like you said, those 2 drop touchdown passes, that was just ridiculous. If he showed a little bit more, like when he scrambled outside the pocket, but he didn't throw the ball away, he took a sack. Say like he showed a little bit more progress in those 2 games, I think they wouldn't even probably sign the quarterback. They would have just rolled him and let him practice for the season, and that would have been that.
And we signed Josh Rosen out of desperation, not because we think he's so fucking great. Like, we signed him before we could have signed Adrian McCarron. Like, why do we do that? And then there's another report that came out. We tried out Blake Bortles before we signed Josh Rosen. So even though we were desperate, we still were willing to say, damn, let's give Blake Bortles a look before we signed Josh Rosen. So
I was pulling for Bortles. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Let me ask y'all a question, and then I'm about to
go ahead. Go ahead.
This takes me back to the whole argument about who our backup quarterback should have been. Should we have drafted a quarterback? My question now is, now that we going back and forth about this whole who gonna be second string quarterback, should we have drafted a quarterback?
No.
I still say no. And to be honest, if I was going to say, I would have drafted a cornerback to pair with AJ Terrell. Patrick Surtain, you see what he's doing in Denver. Imagine you have another lockdown corner on the other side, and you have 2 lockdown corners for the next 3 to 4 years. That helps your pass rush right there. Because if they can cover and keep the number 1 and 2 receivers from making plays, that's going to improve your pass rush. And that's that.
My answer is going to be, if we don't win now, like we're given expectations to, then the answer is yes. Because I'm gonna wait till the day where there's no Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts still on the team, and we searching for a quarterback and we're losing games. And then my answer will fulfill itself because I already envision what's going to happen. Because if we ain't going to win with Pitts and Ryan, then why did we do this in the first place? So I just say y'all gonna see. Like, do we think we're Super Bowl ready now? Because if we're not, then the answer is yes.
Yeah,
if we are Super Bowl ready now, then the answer is no.
Go ahead, Lo.
I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this right here. It's like taking a quarterback. If we could look back, hindsight 2020, if we're fifth, we'd all be drunk. Fact of the matter is that
I'd be drunk anyway.
Welcome to my world. The fact of the matter is that it's like, as far as like taking the quarterback, and I see what you're saying, Jeff. It's like, okay, Matt Ryan leads, we have Kyle Pitts on the team. Like, you legitimately don't know. Because think about it, like all these great quarterbacks and good quarterbacks that are in the league right now, like they're not top 5 guys. Patrick Mahomes was number 10. Lamar Jackson, 32. Russell Wilson went later. Like all these guys,
right?
Yeah, so it's like we don't have to draft a quarterback in the top 5 for to be able to win. You just got to draft the right guy for your team at that point in time. Because whenever the Rams, took Kurt Warner out of Publix or wherever he was at and it brought him in, it's like that changed the whole face of their franchise. So I mean, it's just one of those situations. Like Kyle Pitts.
Let me
answer
a question right quick. Let me answer a question right quick. This right here. It's that we couldn't pay a first round quarterback, and the reason why that's not true is he would have made the exact same thing with Kyle Pitts signed.
Exactly.
So we could pay another quarterback, and that contract looks like a lot. But compared to a starting quarterback in the NFL, that's just pennies. So they could have paid quarterback or whatever position they took. No matter what position it was, they would have got paid the same $32.9 million. Go ahead.
Country. My rebuttal to you is a lot of people think that it's just easy to find a quarterback and you can get them anywhere. But if that was the case, then why do teams like the Cleveland Browns have taken decades to find a Baker Mayfield? How long has it took them? And they've tried. They tried first rounders. They've tried not first rounders, and they still were failing. Detroit Lions, etc. So it's not as easy as people think it is. And people forget about the Chris Redmond days, the Joey Harrington days. Matt Ryan was a fucking blessing, and the only reason he came around was because Michael Vick got arrested. If Michael Vick played his career out, never got arrested, and after him, we didn't have a backup plan. Who knows what we would have looked like? So it's not as easy as people think it is to just find a quarterback as well. I'm not saying it has to be first round, but I'm saying it's not easy. And I'm thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about the next 1-2 years.
Right, and that's why I really hate when people hate on Matt Ryan. I know he hasn't lived up to y'all expectations at some point in some of the things he's done, but as far as a quarterback, he's easily the best quarterback the Falcons have ever had. That's why I said, and Joi know what I'm talking about, and Big Low know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you might even know, Jeff. Imagine if y'all had to deal with Chris Miller, Bobby Abel, Billy Joe Tolliver, and players like that. I just wanted to see what y'all would say.
Yes.
How would y'all feel? Y'all go to YouTube and look up some of those videos with those type of quarterbacks on the roster.
And I saw someone in the comments say, you don't need a quarterback because defense wins championships. Ask the Chicago Bears how long they've been looking for a quarterback and how many good defenses they had, and they couldn't cut the mustard because Rex Grossman was so bad he couldn't even just manage a game to a win. You have to be at least competent to win. And if you're going to be a below average or mediocre quarterback, your defense better be fucking 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Otherwise, you're not going to win. You have to have at least it has to be balanced. That's the problem.
That's a great example. That's a great example.
We're unbalanced. We are the anti-Chicago Bears. We got all offense, no defense. They got all defense, no offense. So how do we find that balance, Country Smitty?
Yeah, that's Atlanta.
How you find that balance? The GM and the coach have to come to be as one and think like one, and put a winning atmosphere. Not only on the field, but in the locker room, in the front office, As I always say, man, Pittsburgh Steelers. Every Pittsburgh Steelers player that I've interviewed, they've said the exact same thing. They have the perfect culture. They don't care about who they draft or when they draft them. As long as they fit what they do, they're going to draft them, no matter what it is. Just like any player that you've seen drafted past the third, fourth, fifth round that they've selected, they've still been successful. Casey Hampton, one of the best defensive tackles to ever play in that era. He played for the Steelers about 12 seasons. He was like a 5th or 6th round pick. Stayed there his whole career.
But Smitty, even your example, the Pittsburgh Steelers, remember they had an amazing defense, the Super Bowl defense. They had Jerome Bettis, and they still weren't winning anything with Cordell Stewart until they got Ben Roethlisberger.
But see, this is what I'm telling you. Ever since they've been one of the best defense, what scheme have they used? 3-4 defense. From the 1970s all the way up to right now. Same defense. Never switched. Only thing they switched was coaches. And they made those coaches follow that same blueprint. They made sure those coaches knew how to coach the 3-4. Just like who was their defensive coordinator? Dick LeBeau.
Dick LeBeau. He been there since the Israelites came out of Egypt.
So when Dick LeBeau retired, they had somebody work under him to learn his defense and pick up where he left off. And it's the same scheme. So, and when I interview LeVon Kirkland again, I'll let him tell y'all. Or y'all can go to that interview on my page. He will sit there and tell y'all everything about the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and how they run things. It's a culture. It's a culture, and it's a winning atmosphere. Positivity and none of that stupid stuff. Now, Ben Roethlisberger has got in trouble, but other than that, what else have you heard?
I mean, Antonio Brown.
Well, he don't count.
They let him go. Le'Veon Bell.
That's what I'm saying.
They moved on from there, and like that's how you have to be. Like you just have to. Sometimes you just have to shake it off and step up.
Right?
Because I really think the Steelers kept Antonio Brown too long. Honestly, whenever he pulled that, because if he did that, if he was that blatant with recording the after game,
he been doing that, bro.
Yeah, like just imagine what he has been doing. Le'Veon Bell, like he was just feeling himself a little too much. So it's like just let him go, and you see how that worked out.
As long as you're productive, they'll give you a chance to hold on. The moment your productivity starts slipping, like the moment Juju became captain, and the leader,
number one receiver, right?
We're number one receiver, and that's when they're like, okay, we don't have to put up with the AB stuff anymore. We got another guy. The moment they find that other guy, like you become expendable. If he was on the Cowboys, they would have kept him.
Think about this, bro. Think about this. Steelers knew good and doggone well Juju was not the number one guy.
Yeah, that's why they went out and got Clay Shaypool. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they knew good and doggone well that he was not the number one guy. So it's one of those situations where it was like, well, if he could just kind of even look like it, like we'll go ahead and let Antonio Brown go. What did they do? They turned around and drafted like 4 wide receivers because they were like, we know Juju ain't gonna be able to do it. Juju is not on the beat in this particular situation.
And see, one thing about it, that's one of those positions. You can draft a 5th or 6th round pick, come in and put up the same type production. Yep. So when you look at it, and see, this is what pisses me off with the Falcons. Find your identity, stick with it.
Yep.
If you find your identity, stick with it. Same with the 49ers, Cowboys, Steelers. The greatest teams ever, they just always had an identity. So when the Falcons find their identity, I think they'll be just fine. So if Fontenot and Arthur Smith can start that and bring in the right players to fit their system, and see, they haven't even put all the players in their system yet. So this is what we fail to realize. This is why I see it. They could end up around the 500 mark because all those players on the team are not their players. They still got to sort through players.
And see, and this is the point that I was kind of getting to, Jeff, is that it's like the quarterback position is not going to be as crucial in the future as it was before. Because you see what Arthur Smith did with Ryan Tannehill. Like this offense that Arthur Smith is running, like you're not going to have to be Peyton Manning. You're just going to have to be competent. So if they could get someone who's just competent, they should be fine.
Yep. And his identity is running the football. So that's going to be key no matter what. And no matter what it is, you can't get away from being fundamental. I don't care what sport you play. They all talking about, oh, this is a pass now league. Guess what's going to be the key thing on some of these teams? The run game. When running backs are expendable, at the same time, they still going to be crucial down the stretch. Because you can't win in January without a run game.
It's still important because even though teams nowadays are running up and down the field, scoring all these points, in the fourth quarter, somebody got to stop the bleeding and control the clock, and the run game does that.
Right, exactly.
It's just like in the NBA where, everybody loves the three, but at the end of the day, you got to play defense to win the championship. That's what it's about.
Agreed. Exactly. So
I want to address this real quick, and then I'm getting off, y'all. I'm tired.
Okay.
Why are you so tired? What you been doing?
I've been up since 3:30, and then I be
damn.
She a night owl.
Go ahead.
So it's like a lot of so-called Falcon fans are really just Vick fans that hung around after he got jammed up.
And somebody been chilling in the trap. That joke just said jammed up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joy.
So if I read this correctly, this is saying that Falcon fans are so-called because they like Vick after he got jammed up. I'm going to say this, and then I'm about to be out. I'm a Vick fan for life. Don't give a damn how he did on the field. Don't give a damn about what he did with dogs. I don't understand why people always have something to say about folk that like Vick. Just because we like Vick does not say that we don't like Matt Ryan. And we can like both. People can like both. Stop thinking that because somebody like Vick that takes the credit away from Matt Ryan, because some fans aren't like that. Yeah, you have some fans that are, but you just can't say a lot of so-called Falcon fans or call them so-called because they like Vick. Like, people still talking about it's 2021. Vick did his shit a long time ago. And we still want to bring up the fact that, folks just want to have a black quarterback and don't nobody like white quarterbacks and this and that and the third. That shit get old and it's tiring. If the shit don't go down this year, our team gonna go to hell. And I'm telling you that right up. If we can't get nothing shaking this year, it's gonna be a lot of shit switched up. And then,
And that goes back to what Jeff always say.
Good night, Shauna, because I'm about to
win now. That goes back to what Jeff say, win now.
Exactly.
So if Matt Ryan don't put up what he need to put up, or things don't go the way they need to go, you're just gonna have to break up the rest of the team. That means trading some players. I think the only player that's not tradable on this roster right now is Grady Jarrett. Other than that, everybody else is tradable. I'm gonna just be honest.
AJ Terrell
too. Right.
Speaking about Matt Ryan, Smitty, what y'all think about him possibly not playing any preseason game? Do you think he needs to play preseason or he does not?
Who?
Matt Ryan.
Nah, he ain't got to play. I don't think so. As long as he has his timing down in practice, I think he'll be fine. He's been around long enough because you see Julio, Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, players like that, they never played it. So I think they'll be fine. He's been around long enough to know how to function without playing in the preseason. Any more questions before we roll?
Yeah, because I'm about to fall on my face.
So you better go ahead and lay it on down.
Yeah, you go ahead and go on and do what you do.
Been real, been healed, still Trill Southwest. Bye.
And forehead too. You had to.
Jeff, wait, let me address this shit. Jeff, don't post no damn picture like that again. You call us in 4K looking crazy, me and Elle. But most of all me. And then somebody said, I ain't know her forehead was that big. It's just the braids. Y'all need to cut y'all shit out. Don't Jeff, stop playing pictures like that.
Put it back and just go back like that.
Man, I was just mind my own business. I didn't even look at y'all face when I took that picture. I just took the picture and posted. I didn't even take the time to look at it. Real talk. My bad.
You crazy.
No, you good. I'm just bullshitting around, but it just made me think about that. Anyway, I'm finna take my forehead and get off this thing. Bye, y'all.
All right.
Hey, how about you hit the lotto and you buy some more wraps for that forehead, and then you be all good?
End, do I? Do I press end or do I leave? What do I do?
The red button.
I close you out.
But yeah,
you know, as far as the whole Vick thing, I have ran to some people where
they probably leave the studio.
I have she keep coming back on.
Go ahead.
I have ran to some people where no matter what Matt Ryan does, people just want to say Mike Vick's better, and then when you bring up the facts, they say no, I just think he's just better. Like they don't want to admit that Matt Ryan's better, and they don't have no explanation to back up.
I ain't never had no problem with admitting that. See, what people got to learn, Mike Vick was a culture thing. He ushered in a new era of football. Not saying that taking that from Cordell Stewart and Randall Cunningham, but Michael Vick was just another animal. He was just like a running back at quarterback. As soon as he saw a hole, he could take off and go any way he wanted to. He'd get up to the line of scrimmage, he could throw it 40 yards downfield and throw a touchdown pass. He was just dangerous. And you see him play on the Madden video game, he was like that on the football field in real life. So he was just a different type animal. I never take nothing away from Matt Ryan. Never.
But I think a lot of time people, and I said this on Twitter, they get caught up with all his running highlights. They forget about his passing lowlights. Like when he was missing people wide, sailing passes, inaccurate, intermediate routes. He could not fit tight windows. There was big games he couldn't win. There's a lot of things about Michael Vick that were bad, and people only want to focus on the running part. So yeah, if football only came down to running, Michael Vick got Matt Ryan beat. But you know, football's way more than that.
Right.
And Matt Ryan has him beaten every other category.
One thing that I get tired of hearing is that if Michael Vick was the quarterback during the Super Bowl, we would have won the Super Bowl that year. No. I think one thing that you have to realize is just by using deductive reasoning, we would not have been in the Super Bowl that year if Michael Vick was the quarterback. Because Matt Ryan was just playing out of his mind. He had an MVP type season, and that was covering a lot of the problems that the defense had. If Michael Vick was the quarterback, I can't say that would have been the same situation. It would have been the same result.
Yeah.
And Country, let's just say hypothetically, for the sake of argument, he made it to the Super Bowl. You don't think Bill Belichick would have kept his ass in check and cut off the run? He would have had spies everywhere on Michael Vick, forced Michael Vick to throw. And you know Michael Vick wasn't going to beat you with his arm thrown accurately.
Yeah, and a lot of people, man, they don't know that's why that Tampa 2 was created for players like Mike Vick.
You know what, though, Jeff? I gotta disagree with you on that one. That's a big negative, Ghost Rider, because historically, Bill Belichick has had terrible luck playing against running quarterbacks. That's the reason why he got Cam Newton, because Cam Newton's never lost to New England. Like, he has terrible luck with running quarterbacks. So, I mean, if Michael Vick was on the bench and we brought Michael Vick in, like, he might have, you know, been successful in that particular situation. But once again, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Now, Tonio, I'm gonna be real with you, man. Atlanta tried once upon a time under Dan Reeves to put a decent team around Mike Vick. If you remember when they had Vick, Dunn, and Duckett, they did have Pillage, Price, Algie, Crumpler. They had decent weapons, but they weren't, you know, real game-changing weapons at wide receiver. But they were good enough to get by Brian Finner and guys like that. So I agree with that to a certain extent. But at the same time, you got to build around what you have already. Mike Vick was a scrambling quarterback, so what they did, they gave him a running back like Warrick Dunn, who runs low to the ground, can get out in the open, catch passes. You had a power back like T.J. Duckett, short yardage, goal line. And so if Mike Vick got them downfield or Warwick Dunn had a great game, that was their game plan. Dan Reeves was a run type quarterback. I mean, a running type coach, just like Arthur Smith is. So if you want to compare Arthur Smith to a coach, I would say Dan Reeves would be probably the closest thing to that. So that's why Mike Vick, that's why he never had receivers, because he wasn't a passing type quarterback all the time. Matt Ryan is a passing quarterback, a pocket quarterback. That's why he has more weapons. So they built the team to exactly to what they had at quarterback.
And Smitty, wouldn't you say that you can flip it around? Michael Vick had a better defense than Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you can say, what if you give Matt Ryan an actual defense?
Hell yeah. Back then, when the Vick era, they had Keith Brooking, Patrick Kearney, John Abraham.
Yeah, give Matt Ryan that defense and see.
Ray
see
Buchanan even played with him for a little while.
Yeah.
So yeah, you give Matt Ryan that defense, they definitely win the Super Bowl.
Multiple Super Bowls. They would have won in 2012. They would have. I mean, ain't no telling what would happen in 2016. But
I really don't care what nobody say. Y'all get mad or whatever. No team will ever be better than that 98 team. Yeah. That was the most complete team the Falcons ever had.
Yeah, very complete team.
Ever.
Until we ran into Terrell Davis.
They should have won that. I'm telling you. That game was 13-6.
Up, bro.
That game was 13-6 in the third quarter before Chris Chandler threw that interception. Had he not thrown that interception, they go in and tie the game. That game probably would have came out different. But
people say we should have lost to the Vikings that year, though.
Say that again.
People said that we should have lost to the Vikings that game before the championship. NFC.
Now a 14-2 team, both teams 14-2. How can you say that when they only lost 2 games the whole season?
Because they had Randy Moss and Chris Carter.
That don't mean everything. You know that.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying. A lot of people said that the Vikings should have won that game.
It did, but
because it ended on the kick. So a lot of people say the Falcons got lucky.
Nah, ain't no such thing as luck. If you play to the buzzer, it's just like basketball.
All right,
Reggie Miller hit how many threes in 9 seconds?
Exactly. When it comes to sports, ain't no such thing as luck.
Play to the clock, hit 0.
You got a full duration of the regulation, like
right.
He missed the kick.
Man. But I want to thank y'all for coming on, man, chilling with us tonight. We appreciate it as always. Everybody in the comment box, y'all please go and subscribe to our pages. Press the like button. Go to Jazzy Jeff Real Talk. No gimmicks. That's right. And Big Low Kuntry. And they call him Big Low Kuntry because of what?
I'm just an old country boy. Love to sit around and talk about sports, man. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do is I'm probably going to go live a little bit later on tonight for a little after party. So if anybody who's watching, make sure y'all come and check me out. Big Low Kuntry.
Hey, you say after party?
After party. It's spelled Kuntry. So y'all come and check us out. Hey,
you gonna have strippers at the party?
Of course. You already know.
If you ain't drinking, there ain't no after party.
Boom, boom, room. I'm always drinking, Jeff. You already know.
What?
Huh? You already know what time it is.
Oh.
Bro, you stupid, bro.
We keep the jokes around here, man. We got to keep laughing and keep from crying with these fans, man. But like I said, man, y'all don't forget to press that like button, press that subscribe button. Please go subscribe to all our channels. We would greatly appreciate it. And again, I thank y'all for giving me up to 3,000 subscriptions. I'm looking to get more. And I'm going to continue to keep bringing y'all more sports, more players, more interviews, because that's what we're going to do. And after every game this regular season, I expect to do a post-game show. And if y'all game, we going to run it.
Yeah, I can whenever I get a chance to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, man, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.